Hello, I'm Mike Presley. I'm an attorney and I'm a C-suite member of a healthcare innovations company. But I'm here to talk with you today about something you know and consistently use already. What I'm about to tell you comes out of fear, out of a concern for costs, and out of a concern for growth. Let's start with fear. I cringe at the thought of giving annual reviews. I really did. I detest making judgments of people. It never goes well for me, and it never really goes well for them. Years ago, I had a professor at Hopkins, Professor Milter, who shared the same uneasiness about critiquing people face to face. You're basically telling people your opinion about their shortcomings. When you really get down to it, you may think as a reviewer that you were being objective. Heck, the project didn't turn out the way it should have, but that's not what they hear. They think you're a subjective imbecile. Are they right? Well, it's not about who's right or who's wrong, and thank God for that. But regret sets in. You feel bad about how the interview ended. You see the abject horror on their face. So being a mush that you are, you want to give them a consolation prize, so you don't. Now you're a candidate for a 360 rater program. Congratulations. But do you really feel better? Then you realize about how much you just spent. It just cost the firm another $250 to take a day off with someone, and you know that you're not going to yield the fruits of your desire. So you feel even worse. And what's worse is with external searches, they now can cost millions of dollars. Well, fortunately, there is something that can help. Something that's cheap to use, something people already like to use, and in fact use every day, but now it can be used to grow leadership from within. Now, I see you've been looking at me, looking at my phone. I want you to pick up your phone now and open your laptop. I want you to click that link. Here is the app, Let's Lead. It's an interactive leadership tool giving employees and managers the ability to ask questions in real time, documenting their behaviors in real time, getting feedback and feed forward on how to develop and improve your leadership skills while engaging in the work in progress. It allows you to see objective real-time correlations between your behaviors and the group's output. Then it visualizes the point in the path between where you are and where management would want you to be in order for you to take your next steps as a leader. For more on the story, let's hear from Adam. Adam.
Great introduction, Mike. Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. My name is Adam Deschang. I am a engineering and project implementation manager for the Boeing Company. And if you would go into your app and just scroll up a little bit here, you'll see a gentleman speaking into a microphone, and you can just click there and follow along, just swiping left to right as we progress through the presentation. So in Let's Lead, we've developed we have 8 suggested leadership styles. However, we do have it programmable to develop your own criterion that you'd like to use within your organization. That data and how we get that data into the app is through evaluations, performance evaluations, and that can be done by an employee's manager or as well as from stakeholders involved in the projects that they're working on. And the rating is programmable but fairly simple, and in this case we've used a met minimal, met some, met exceeded, or far exceeded based off the 8 suggested criteria we spoke of earlier. Now, you can use this data and expose this layer to your employees, or if you want to have a little more anonymity, you can move that onto this plane that really shows those 8 skills based off of people interaction versus a response to change. So with that data, they can see what their peer evaluations are, what their management evaluations are, and then what their corporate targets are. And then by identifying some deficiencies or areas of improvement, they can click on training that is specific to that skill. In addition, if they want to have a more interactive experience, they can click on the Find Mentors to connect to mentors who have subject matter expertise and that specific area or skill level of leadership within their organization. And then finally, employees can track in real time feedback over any definable period of time. We have an example here of 2017, 2018, and then quarterly thereafter. However, it's important to note that that feedback is up to date in real time. And then finally, in taking a look at the stakeholder evaluation and management evaluation, you can get a personalized plan to get you to your target by getting a composite of all of that feedback into one user interface that is consistent across the enterprise. And then, as Mike had alluded to earlier, if you have a candidate that has been identified as having special talents in leadership and further development is needed, they can track their progression over time, T1, T2, T3, and so on, to get to that final ideal that is specific either to match the corporate culture or their specific function. So I want to thank you for your time, and I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Jeff Pies.
Thank you, Adam. My name is Jeff Pies. I'm Director of Operations for an international nonprofit. And I want to direct your attention now to the app, this TED Talks. If you click through there, you'll be at the important element of feedback. Now, feedback is important because in the organization, you have the old way of doing things, you have a new way of doing things. The old way for collecting feedback through focus groups and surveys, it was expensive, it was time consuming, and worst case of all, it takes a long time to analyze and aggregate that data and then get it back to the decision makers who can make decisions from that. Our app is basically solving all of those problems. First and foremost, it's easy to get all the data at one time. It's all electronic. So you don't have to worry about paper surveys, phone calls, waiting for emails to come back. It comes in right away. Secondly, it's anonymous. The important thing about anonymous data is that it's accurate. People don't have that awkwardness, as Mike alluded to, of having to feel like you have to sort of make things up or be nicer. You can be as honest as you want, which is ultimately what's going to benefit the organization. And most importantly, I think our data that you get, it's scalable, right? Large organizations can use this information, right? Just as easily as small organizations. Part of the problem is that if you have a very large organization, it's not cost efficient to get real-time feedback. Well, now it is. The data is going to come back in real time. Decision makers can use the data to make real-time decisions. If they work, great. If they don't, you don't spend a lot more time having to get more feedback to try to make new decisions. Now, you might be asking yourself, why is it important to get this feedback? The answer is simple. You want your culture, your organization to match what the employees perceive it to be. There's oftentimes a discrepancy, as evidenced right here, where employees and management are on two completely different pages about how things are operating. And the goal, obviously, is for everyone to be on the same page. How do you get that? Well, you get that through feedback. And again, real-time feedback is the key element that our app does so well. Real-time feedback is what's going to allow our app to help your organization become more efficient, more streamlined, and ultimately, hopefully, more profitable. And here's Jeff Vu to wrap it up.
Hello, my name is Jeff Vu, and I am a nurse practitioner and a leader within my healthcare organization. To follow along, please pull up your app here. If you just go down to the second box with the little robot and click on that guy. So this app has so much potential. It can be used for social interaction, engagement surveys, push messaging, file sharing, even gamification as part of the leadership development program. There's opportunities for growth and ways to optimize your organization in group decision-making and just decision-making in general to make the best for your organization as it moves forward. So we did some research. 19 of 20 respondents that are familiar with the 360 Rater system said that they were interested in using our app, Let's Lead. Why? Because it's highly cost-effective, something that everyone would use. It's easy to use. The feedback is easy to obtain, and it would give hope to those employees for their potential and leadership as they develop through the organization. The one that was holding out felt that she wanted more direct discretion in evaluating the leader beyond just objective. So bringing it all back 360 degrees here, the app is the first of its kind in leadership development. Team 6 has secured $200,000 in venture capital to develop this beta release of this app. Let's Lead was born here at Carey, though, and Team 6 would like to offer Carey at no cost to build for what's next. Does your organization want to be left behind, or do you want to be part of the future in choosing and developing leaders? Thank you.